Hello, welcome to Creating with Shannon. I'm Shannon with Pigment Vintage, and today we're going to have some fun. We're going to create something with the new Decoupage Queen Christmas release. We're going to be using the Happy Santa. This was the bonus paper you got in your kit if you bought the whole pack, all of them. And then we'll probably use a little bit of the Christmas perfectly with Happy Santa. So let me just talk to you for just one quick second and pull up the comments to see if anybody is joining it. Got a little bit of stuff going on right now. Currently, I have friends from Fort Myers or from Florida driving here. I'm having a kitchen remodel. Let's see what else is going on. There's a lot going on besides that, but I still wanted to come on and I wanted to do this. So let me share my screen with you and let's show you what I'm going to be working on. So I have this little box. Hey, Pamela. I have this little box that I found at a estate sale. And when you open it up, it's got the velvet. Morning, Sheila. And it's got this silk with this gold rose on it. I absolutely love this. I had to buy it. It was a dull beige color. If you saw it earlier on my Facebook page, because I was saying that was coming live. But if you see here, look, I was testing different colors of what I want to put on the inside. I was trying to coordinate maybe with the papers. But I need to get rid of this color. It's soft velvet. And yes, you can paint that. We're going to make it where it's going to be pretty, and we can even give it, hey Karen, we can even give it as a gift. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So first what we're going to do is we are going to decide how we're going to put Santa on here. I have thought about putting it here and then wrapping it around here. But then I was thinking maybe just centering the top of him and then putting, excuse me, this paper on the bottom. Like that. And then, of course, if you see over here, I have a plethora of pen art. I have like 45 different pen art products laid out ready for my disposal to use because I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. Hey, Gert, I hope you're feeling better. And then I have my whole cabinet here that has all of my pen art and IOD and a bunch of other stuff. Because I never know what I'm going to need. So first, though, I'm just going to put this over my box, and I'm just going to kind of just outline it, pushing down on it, and we'll see how that works, if I can cut that. I can cut that, but I think I'd rather take a pencil and just trace around it. Question is do I have a pencil nearby? That is the question. I do have a pink pen. That should work. Like I said, my morning's been a little hectic. Kitchen remodel going on. And we have some friends driving in right now from out of town. They'll be here all weekend. Excited for that. Been laying out, prepping, because this month is for my pen art playbook. I'm doing everything crackle, and I have everything laid out. I've already done all the handouts for it. That's very time consuming, but I have everything I need to go ahead and record the videos. So I am ready for that. And then, of course, I got to edit them, and then I've got to upload them. Even though the videos may be 1.5 to 5 minutes, it takes forever to do. But I know that I've gotten so much feedback that people are loving it, so I'm going to continue to do it. All right, so I traced around the top, and I'm going to go ahead and cut. It's not going to be perfect, It's going to be fairly close, but I have an idea for the side, and I'll share with you in just a minute. Let me just cut this paper out. Glad to hear you're feeling a little better. All right. So if this freezes on Facebook, I'm also live on YouTube. If it freezes on YouTube, I'm also live on Facebook. You just never know. And I always like to share a backup plan just in case. Okay, so I'm going to save this paper because I love, it looks like letter, an old letter with a stamp. And then also there's some pine cones and stuff that I might be able to use for a tag something later. So I'll just put that over here. And let's look at this. Look how cute it's going to be. Oh, thank you, Sheila. I appreciate that. That's very sweet. Yeah, it is a lot of work, but I'm learning a lot about some of the pen art products because I know that there's, hey, Sharon, I know that some of these products, they do more than just one thing. And so if you don't want to carry like every product, though, why wouldn't you? I love it. But you can actually use certain things for two different techniques. So it's good to know, and it's always nice to have that cheat sheet. Yeah, what I cut it so much bigger. I guess I'm gonna need to trim it down just a little bit. So, but what I'm thinking about, because I really don't want to bend this paper around the side, I'm going to use my fave, the Pigment Fix. And I haven't decided. I'll probably use the gold because, see, this already has the gold on it. So I might just run the gold around here and then maybe put the plaid paper here. I don't know, though. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens, where this takes us. There we go. All right. So, of course, I'm going to the Pentart Decoupage Varnish and Glue. This one's matte. The underneath one really doesn't matter. It's more of just the glue to keep it on. And I already coated it 2 coats of the Pentart acrylic primer. I didn't need the bonding primer because it was not a slick surface. All right. You want to have enough decoupage medium for your paper to stick, but you don't want to have too much where you're going to get wrinkles. I'm just going to make sure. Sometimes I tend to miss the edges here, so I just want to make sure that I get the edges. All right. And of course, the tried and true cellophane. Some people like to use this. I'm not a big fan, but you have to use. Everybody can uses what they feel comfortable with. So look at that. Oh, he just already is adorable, isn't he? Just so he is happy Santa. All right. I do have a little bit of an overlap here, so I'm just gonna make sure I glue all of the edges down. I don't want to get the top of the paper wet because I want to be able, we want to play with this before we actually put it, glue it down. Otherwise we'd have to wait for that decoupage to dry. We don't want to do that. We want to get busy with this project. Plus, if I want to put the paper on the bottom, I can go ahead and I can do that because it's not wet on the top. So how many of you guys have this Happy Santa guy? Okay, question. But you could use a bonding primer if you don't have the acrylic primer. Absolutely, yes. The difference between the two are the bonding primer, to me, feels a little bit more plasticky. And for it to work, you need to let it sit and dry for 24 hours. But if it's not a slick surface, you don't have to wait the 24 hours. It's fine. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the bottom. Yes, yes, yes. And hopefully I'll measure this better. Oh, shit, you have the paper. It's so cute. When I first saw it, I was kind of like, yeah, it's okay. But then once I really looked at his face and just the details, it's just super cute. Like if I saw it as a standalone paper, I don't know if I would have bought it. But because I have the kit, I have it. And you know what? It's super adorable. I'm glad that I got it with the kit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this paper out. Now this one is called Christmas Plaid. They came out with a bunch of different plaids for this release. And I just love plaids. They are perfect for a background or for layering. They can be good for tags. They can be good for in frames. It's just, the plaids are just, it's never ending of what you can do with a plaid. And of course, if you don't have plaid, you can always make your own with the IOD stamp. What is it called? So one has got bows and plaid background. I forget what it's called off the top of my head. But I've used that one before, and it's super cute. You can layer it and make different colors, just like this. So you can do the green and the red with that stamp. That way, if you have that IOD stamp, you can create all different color plaids, all different styles, whatever you want. Maybe I should do a video on that. That'd be fun. All right, I'm going to stick this over with the rest of that paper, with the rest of the Happy Santa paper, because I will save that for later. And hopefully I measured this one a little better. There we go. Yep. Now, see, that's just perfect for the bottom, the nice plaid. All right. So, does anybody have any questions? Or for like, I'm gonna do when I do the crackles, because you know the fine line is the toughest crackle. But once you understand the theory behind the fine line, you will totally you won't have any problems with it. I know there's been some retailers that have recently done some stuff, some how-tos with the fine line. So I know you guys know about it, and I know a lot of people are starting to use it more and more now. So. But it's just such a cute, a cool look. It's made to give you this like a porcelain look. But if you have any questions on in the crackles, like that you want to make sure that I cover, go ahead and just drop that in the comments, because I think I do a pretty good job of making sure I cover everything that's with all the pen art stuff. But sometimes, unintentionally, I can leave out as like advanced technique and I forget. But all right, just going around the edges. All right. There we go. Now look at how cute that little box is. Now, I have some velvet powder out to do some of the Santa. But if I get into the velvet powder, I'm going to definitely have to seal the paper. So we might have to seal it and dry it, or I can save that for a different day. What I do want to do is I want to go ahead and mix up, where is it? The pigment fix. This is a dream, the pigment fix. And then I have two of the different golds here. Hey, Lori, thanks for joining. I have the champagne and I have the regular gold. And I'm looking to see which one really matches there. Let me zoom in a little bit. To zoom in, I have to, there we go. Let's zoom in just a little bit so you can see better. So I'm thinking it's going to be this one that's going to look better. So that's the one we're going to use. Look at that goodness. So all you do is you take a little, stir it up, and put it here. You can put it in a cup. You can put it on in a bowl, whatever you want. This is just handy as right here. I'm going to take a little bit of the gold pigment, metal pigment, and I'm just going to mix. Look at that. You can just see it. I'm using a wood, excuse me, wood stick to to stir it, but sometimes when it's on a flat surface like this, it's easier to use a paintbrush. All right, let's stick that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this gold and we're gonna run it. We're definitely gonna do the top part. So maybe, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and apply a thin coat of this, and then while we're working on the rest, it'll start drying because I really want to be able to start decorating it. So I might just have to use the blow dryer for a little bit, but it'll be worth it if we can start decorating him. Right? Yummy? I know, it's so pretty. All right, so we're going to start on this side here. So we're going to test it. Generally, I like to test where, I like to test somewhere like that's not in the front. So if I make an error, it's hidden in the back. And knock on wood, so far I haven't made a mess. You guys know me and how I can be a crafting mess. Let's see, what kind of brush do I want to use? Semi-firm, but not too firm. There we go. Just gonna give it a little mix, but look at how beautiful that is. Isn't that just gorgeous? It has so much pigment in it. It really, it does a beautiful job of giving coverage. So let's go ahead and put this. Look at that. Isn't that just simply amazing? Just so gorgeous. Oops. It got a little clear where I brushed over some of the wet decoupage, but I will go back when all this dries and I'll do some touch up. There we go. I'm just gonna get a paper towel and make sure that I don't have any. Yeah, there's none there. Just a little precaution. Okay, there we go. Has anybody tried this gold pigment with the pigment fix yet? Look at that. It's just so beautiful. So, so beautiful. Now these are a little bit different than the mica powders just because it's metal compared to just the mica powder. Gives a nice, yes, Laura, I'm sure I knew you had. So let's see. What I'm trying not to do is I'm trying not to touch the top of this paper with the decoupage medium on it, because what happens if you touch it while it is wet, you actually, it'll stick to your finger and you'll pull the paper or some of the color off. So, and ask me how I know that. I've done it one too many times. So if you've been following along with my chicken videos, wait to see what I did. I created a tunnel for them to go into the garden, and they are loving the free range in the garden. So I will have to post some pictures of what it looks like and how they are enjoying themselves. If you follow me on my First Came the Chicken Instagram, I did a little video of one of the chickens. Her name is Dude. My 20-year-old named her. Thus, Dude. She's the only one who hasn't started laying eggs yet. So I had a little small carton of all the different eggs. And I just said to her that rent is due. And she was squawking until I said that. And then she got really quiet. So if you want to laugh and you're on Instagram, check out First Came the Chicken, that video, or maybe I'll just post it on here. It was super cute. Okay, so we're going to let that dry for a second. Oh, Lori, thank you. It's just been so much fun. You know, moving to a new state and having a lot more free time uh, that is what I do with my free time. Oh, thanks, Regine. Maybe I'll start posting, a little bit more. I just don't want to do too many videos with the chickens, but maybe I'll just put more in my story because the stories disappear. Okay, so let me get my dryer. I'm just going to dry for a second. What I need to do is I need to do a little video that introduces, I only have 5 chickens. I got 6 when I went to Tractor Supply, but the next day one of them didn't survive. I don't know what happened. He may have been a sick chicken already, but the other 5 are doing great, and they're just so much fun. I never in a million years thought I would ever have chickens. My sister has them, and I'm like, ew, yuck. But lo and behold, now I have them. Funny, funny, funny. Yes, Sheila. I finished the tunnel. I haven't really showed pictures yet because I have like some areas that I need to paint and touch up. But maybe I'll just show you behind the scenes and show, it doesn't have to be perfect to be on camera. But it's super cute, and they figured it out. And I have a door, so like when I'm not home, I shut it so they can't go out. I do have a, excuse me, a net. So like the hawks, we do have a couple hawks that live around here. So they're protected, but I still like to be here just in case anything happens. I have 2 windows in my studio here, so I can see right out and see. Ooh, it's almost dry. Nice. Oh, yes, Lori. You know what? I hear you with that. Foxes. We don't have foxes right around here, at least not that I know of. But I took every safety precaution I could with this coop because I would be devastated. Not because I have like a real emotional attachment to the chickens. I mean, I do, but it's not like my dog. But I put the hardware cloth outside. I'd lined the bottom of the run with the hardware cloth. I hope I did every precaution that I could. I even have a video camera, solar camera. So I went a little overboard, but it's fun. Whew. All right, it's just about finished. Oh, I really like this. Sometimes you look at something and you're like, well, I can't go live and do that. That's so boring. I have wait, you can probably see it. Right back here is a rolling rack full of things I bought at a thrift store or an estate sale that I just want to make over, but I just never do it. So now I need to actually just pull them off because you know what? They're all going to be cute. Thanks, Lori. Okay, so here's the box and here's the bottom. Now, I need to decide what I want to do here. Like, do I leave it white? Or do I add some more of this paper here? I don't want it to be overkill, but I do like that. Ooh, or I have, let's see, I've got all kinds of stuff. I have the Pentart, the crystal pen. So I could actually, do a design on here. What else do I have out here? Ooh, I have some of the bright red mica powder that I can mix with the pigment fix. That might be too much. I do have some red. Yes, they slowly are because you know what? Every time I find myself, I have seating around the coop in the garden now. I go out there, I have a glass of wine, or I just sit on my phone. And I find that we all congregate as a family now sitting around there. It's really crazy. Maybe some velvet powder would be cute. You know what? Let's put that thought on hold because I do want to show you the inside. Now, unfortunately, the inside here, like I love, love, love this. But, it really doesn't match. It doesn't match the Christmas, but I'm not going to touch that. It's true vintage, and it's just beautiful. So I have to leave that. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to paint over this velvet. You can see where it's turned like a yellowish color and like a really, this looks dingy. So last night I was practicing which color I wanted to use. The white, it doesn't cover the blue enough. I use this gold. I don't really like it. I think I like the green the best because I think the green actually goes with the paper. So this is how you do it. It's just like when you paint. Have you ever painted a couch or you ever painted a chair, any kind of fabric? The trick is that you're not really painting it, you're dyeing it. So, but PentArt does have fabric and leather paint. And this is a beautiful green. This is what I used in here. The trick is that you want, because it's got such a thicker nap than regular smooth fabric, is that you want to make sure this is wet. So I'm going to wet this. And I have just my spray bottle here. So I'm going to mist and get it all wet. And it should be wet, wet. Not where it's, you know, dripping and drenched, but just enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just rub the water in. I want to make sure it gets into the velvet. Normally, when you think of painting velvet, you think of, wow, that'd be crunchy. It's going to be, look all clumped up. But it's really not. I painted this and it's super soft. So, here it is. So this color is pine green. And PentArt has all different color fabric paints and leather paints. Actually, this is the new improved version. Woo! All right. So I'm going to use a brush that's kind of stiff, something that I can push into. And you'll notice it's thick. Did you see that, how thick that is? Is it thick? We probably could use the acrylic paint too, but we're going to go with the fabric paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint it on, and I'm going to kind of like push down into the nap of the velvet. You see how pretty that is? I need to cover the yellow. I want to try to make it as even as possible color-wise. Oops. But already that looks 10 times better. You can see where the white was and the gold was, so I might have to go back over with 2 coats for that, but that's okay. I wanted to test before I came on here because my original thought was, let's do white. And if I would have waited till today and I would have started doing this with the white, I would have been not happy. So I'm glad I tested it beforehand. But this green is turning out beautiful. And it's just covering that ick, whatever that was. And just so you know, yes, I did clean it. I took, I cleaned the velvet before I did all this, and I let it dry. I'm going to try not to get any on the beautiful gold rose with the blue silk, because it is silk, so it is nice. All right. I just need to paint the sides. I'm going to get it a little bit wet. I don't think I got the sides wet in the front. There we go. Ooh. Oops. Now the sides aren't velvet. They're more of, I want to say like it's that blue color, but it's a ribbon. Just lines the inside beautifully. But the blue ribbon is now a green ribbon. Now, when this dries, it might be a little crunchy. and it might not, but the only thing we need to do to it is take a little bit of sandpaper to it, and it brings it back the softness. Brings it back. Okay, so I'm trying to get, oops, you can't even see. I'm trying to get in here. It's kind of a hard angle, but I do have a small video that I think I posted the reel yesterday that shows the inside of what it looked like before I started putting color in. And I tell you what, now look at how pretty that is. What a difference, right? And it just happens that it's going to match our Christmas box. Perfect. And I'm going to take a little bit of the green, or maybe even the gold, and do this, but I'm not going to do it yet because I need to close this to decorate the top, and I don't want to have to worry about it sticking. So I'll probably end up doing that last. So just know that that will be done. All right. So I'm going to have to put one more coat on where the green or the gold and the white were, but you can see the difference? And you can see the outline of where the green I did yesterday, but that will, or should go away too, because I'll put one more coat to make it even. But for now, this at least shows you that it can be done, and it's going to be soft. Maybe not as soft as the original velvet, but it'll be soft to the touch. It won't be all crunchy. But I'll probably have to show you another day because that will take a longer time to dry. So let me put this brush. Oh, there it is. All right. Let me just make sure my fingers are clean. I can't tell you how many times I went to pick up a project and I had some remaining paint and smudged it and ruined my box. All right, so let's... Sometimes I get a little stuck, but I'm going to add some more gold. I'm going to do a second coat of gold, and because I want to make sure that it is popping. So what do you think? Should I use some velvet powder for Santa? Or should I use maybe some red mica powder? I have some sparkling gel. I have foils out. Oh, I have so much stuff out. Oh, you could absolutely do that on. Or, you know what you could do, Laura? You could also, you know this, you can just pull it out and then just apply the velvet powder and give it a whole new layer. I didn't want to attempt that on this one purely because I was afraid I was going to tear out the beautiful silk on the top part. All right. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, because he's so happy, I don't want to put happy because happy doesn't really, I think jolly. Did you see the box that I did? I'm going to grab that real quick, so just bear with me for a second. Sparkling gel, yeah. Oh, this was one of the projects I did for the new release with Decoupage Queen. I showed a quick reel. I don't know if they shared it yet or not, but so here, look, see the Christmas? Isn't that beautiful? Merry Christmas. So I'm thinking to do this technique on the side of the box here, and maybe because he's Happy Santa, just write jolly. Or maybe I could put Christmas again. I'll have to think about that. What do you think? What should I write on the side? Jolly, because he is happy. So we have this, but I'm thinking more of maybe we do the fuzz on his like his hat. And I do have some snow paste, so we can actually use snow paste to make his beard stick out. There's all different kinds of things we could do here. Oh my goodness. I normally have a great plan of action, but with so many things going on today, all right. Let's check this out. Let's see. This is the sparkling gel, and this one is in red gold. Merry or Jolly? Oh, you know what? Merry. I like Merry maybe instead of Jolly. Merry. Because Merry is happy too. So Merry and Jolly. Hey, Luann and Sue. Hey, Sandy. Okay, so yeah, so the question is, do I write Jolly or do I write Merry? He is called Happy Santa. So, all right, so I want to show you what this does. Now, for those of you that know me, know that I love shimmer, I love sparkle. And what I'm doing is I'm adding this sparkling gel, and I'm going to add it to his costume, or not his costume, his suit, because look what it's doing. See the change it makes? It just makes it a little bit more sparkly. See here, right here? Isn't that beautiful? I'm trying to catch it in the light. Jolly. Okay, we got his Jolly too. Jolly and another Jolly. All right, Jolly wins. So let me just finish this side here. But look at how cute that is. So it makes such a dramatic difference. What I like to do is I like to take the decoupage papers and just bring them a little bit more to life and more color. Because sometimes I know they're paintings and they look, but when you put them onto a decoupage paper and you get them printed, it kind of dulls it down a little bit. But then I like to add some more life back to it. All right, let's do Jolly. So I'm going to write that and then I'll paint the rest while I'm letting it dry, because I'm going to use the 3D glue pen. This is a dream. And okay, another Jolly. All right. So Jolly this way or Jolly across the top? Ooh, now that's the question. Should I do it like Jolly or Jolly? Hey, Corinne. Isn't he cute? I was shocked. I really didn't think I was going to like this paper, but once I got it in my hands and I started, and especially now that I'm using the paper, I love him. He's just so cute. He's so vintage and retro. All right. Oh, yeah, glitter on his beard. That'd be pretty too. Vertical. Okay. Vertical, so this way. All right, let's do it. That was my first thought. Let's go ahead and do it. Now, cursive or print? What I did on here was I did print down here and cursive here. And that is purely because I did Christmas first. And then I was like, it needs more. So then I added the Merry down here. So I can do a Jolly. Sue says top. Oh boy. If I only worry because if I do the top, then if I do other stuff, it might take away from it. I have all this dead space here. But if I add the velvet powder here and here, cursive. Okay, yeah. So for some reason, this broadcast keeps freezing, and I keep unfreezing it. So hopefully I'm catching it in time. So I do have the brown velvet, which will match this. And I can also throw in a little of the beige, because see how it has the browns? The only problem is when you use a velvet powder, you lose all the lines, so you don't really get to see it. But you can absolutely mix your velvet powders to get a different color. Especially like I didn't have a pink, so I took the red and the white and I made a pink. So you can make your own colors too. All right, let's go. Oh boy, across the top, cursive top. So if I do it across the top, it's gonna have to be small. But if I do it here, I can do it big. Okay, always, always, always learn from me, my mistakes. Test the pen before you put it on your, right, Sue? put it on your project, because I can't tell you how many times I've tried. It's clogged. I push harder and went. So I'm just going to take, yes. Okay, it's coming out fine. All right. Oh my gosh. So jolly. All right, I'm going to, only because I'm going to write it big, I'm going to go on the side. Cursive for sure. Okay. Oh, thanks, Pamela. So, you know what? Let's do this. So I can either do a jolly like this, which, or I could do a jolly, which I don't like that. You probably can't see that, but this pen is light. So maybe come in like, how do you do the cursive? I'm not really good with the J's because I don't ever write a big cursive J. I'm just going to go with what I know. All right, so jolly. Now I'm nervous. Normally I'm not nervous. Normally I just go for it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, cursive, cursive. All right. So jolly. All right, let's go for it. I can always wipe it off because I did put a layer of the decoupage varnish and glue, so it is the paper sealed, so I can wipe it off. I got my baby wipes handy, ready to go. Okay, thank you. I agree with you. Okay, so let's go. Okay. Thanks, Corinne. There it is. Jolly. With a little curly Q up here. So, now the problem with the 3D glue pen is that I love this, but it takes a little bit while to tack up. But it's definitely worth the wait. And what I do is I have the Pentart Gold metal leaf right here, and that's what we're going to put on it. And if you don't have those, you can also use the flakes. These tend to be more messy, especially for me. But what you can also do is, if you use the metal leaf, when you brush it off, you can brush it right into this because it's bits and pieces anyway. Ooh, thanks, Corinne. All right. So while that is drying, we're going to circle back to the red gold of the sparkling gel because we are making Santa suit. We're making it pop. What I'm trying to do is avoid the black lines because I still want the lines that shows the details. Perfect. Thanks, Sue. Thanks, Sheila. And because it's transparent, you can still see the major shading, but I don't want to cover up the lines. And this hits differently depending on the light. Oh, is that? Yeah. I just got a message on my phone. Sorry. Okay. Have you guys ever used the sparkling gel? This stuff, I think the black gold is my fave, especially now that Halloween's coming up. Well, not really coming up, but it's coming. Fall's coming eventually. You wouldn't know it with all the heat. It's been so hot, but I'm super excited. I cannot wait to start fall. The fall. It's going to be, I just is so excited. I've got a lot of ideas, but that black gold is perfect. It's everything. I can't even tell you how many times I've used it on Halloween stuff. Oh, yeah, I do have I've got all my contour pens right here. I can put those out too. Contour lines would be pretty. So I can add those black lines back with the contour pen. Maybe I should have put this on before I put Jolly. we go. Let's see. So can you see? So it's red gold. So it adds shimmer and adds just a slight tinge of gold. But I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit to the other red things on here. There we go. You're going big. Cass on my TV. All right. Well, I'll make sure not to zoom in too close so you can see my wrinkles. All right. So there we have that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just do this anyway. Even though his hat and his puffs are gorgeous with the way they were drawn on here, but I want to add, I have to add velvet powder because velvet powder is just fun and it just changes everything. It just makes it more, ooh, or why don't we, we could try this. Ah, ha, ha. I don't have it out. Imagine that. I have, look, 900 pen art items out and not what I want to use. So let's see, where is it? I should show you what this looks like. I have one of those, I even forget what it calls, but it's like an armoire that opens up and it has all the pen art in it. But sometimes I put stuff and I don't remember which bin it's in. But I want to use it. I think it'd be great. I did it on, oh, there it is. I've already covered it in the pen art playbook, but this I love. Now, expand paste. This stuff is amazing. It's fun, but I was thinking maybe we could use the expand paste because that'll keep the true look of the way the paper was designed. Uh-oh, there we go. How many of you have used the expand paste? Anybody? Love this stuff. I don't use it enough, but okay. Let me get a little mixing container. So I'm just going to take a little bit of expand paste. We're going all in, guys. We're using all kinds of all kinds of different pen art that you may or may not have seen before. So here's the expand paste. This stuff is great. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tint it because I want it to kind of look like that brown. So I can tint it with my mica powders. I can tint it with some brown paint. But since I have the mica powder out and handy, let's just go ahead and do that. And it's kind of the same color. Oh boy. I'm just going to mix it in here. I didn't want to mix that much because I don't need that much. So this is what it looks like. And watch what it does. Figure if I need more, I can always just mix some more. Yes, I like that too, Luann. Okay. All right. Mica powder can be very messy. It's not me. Okay. All right. So let me take, I want to kind of I'm going to use one of the stencil brushes, a small one. And I'm going to get some of this expand paste on the brush. And then, oh, there's my son is calling. Sorry, honey, I'll call you later. Okay. And I'm just going to dab it. Now we're either going to love this or hate it. I'm trying to see how much I have on here because it's hard to tell because it's the same color as the underneath. All right. I'm going to put on a little thick. Now, it looks just like I painted it, right? But watch this. What you do is you take your heat gun. I'm going to lift it up so you can see it. And you're going to put it on there and watch what happens. Can you see that? Oh my goodness, look at that. Isn't that just amazing? It bubbles up. So now look, his hat looks 3D. Good choice. I'm glad I decided to do that. I may or may not have gotten a little bit of the mica powder on the Jolly, but that's okay. What do you think? I love it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do his puff here, his puff here, his puff here, and his puff here. Wow. Super excited about that. Yeah, right, Luann. Never trust a clean crafter. Oh my gosh, this is just perfect. Whoa. Love it. Oh my gosh. Now I want to buy another one of these papers and do this again, but I want to get a bigger one and put it on my wall for Christmas. I'm sorry. I'm a nerd when it comes to making, especially when I try something that I'm not sure about and it actually works. I'm going to have to create a small reel on this now. Okay, let me. Oh my goodness. Love, love, love. And I'm very excited because sometimes my ideas don't work. So when they do work, I get super excited. And just so you know, and I'm not trying to do this just because, but I do have it in my online store. I love this stuff, so I carry it. Now I want to just make the ball on top of his hat. And then, oopsies. Then we're done. It's kind of like the moss. You're right, Gert. However, the moss goes into like peaks, like kind of like crystals, like they go pointy, where this goes round bubbles. Ooh. There you go. This is just, look at that. Let me see. Can you see that? Wow. Okay. So this will, the 3D will know is dry because it'll become clear. We won't see it. It'll be sticky. It'll just be clear. But right now it's still white. So that's going to take a little while to tack up. We got the sparkler on there. We have the puff on there. And there is one other thing. Thanks, Sandy. What I want to do, similar to what I did on here, is I want to use the snow crystal pen, but I'm going to use that to highlight the letters after I put the gold on. And then I also want to do it, put the snow pen around. There's a technique I have for that. So if you could see, I'm going to do that too. So I might have to come back on maybe tomorrow. I do have friends coming, but maybe she can help me with the live. Maybe we'll do something together. But I really want to continue working on this. I'm super excited about this. And I hope that you've learned something today, because like that expand paste on Happy, Happy Santa, Santa Happy, that I hope you like it. So anyway, I've been yammering for 54 minutes. But are there any questions real quick before I log off? And I'll notify you when I go, if probably in the morning, if I'm going to go on. I'll let you know, or I might just pop on, but at least it'll be on the replay. And though Facebook only allows it for 30 days, it's always on YouTube. So YouTube is not like that. It'll be on there forever. Is the expand paste in the Pentart series? It absolutely is. Where did I just put it? Here it is. It's Pentart expand paste. I did it. I did a short video like this in the Pentart playbook. I don't know if you probably haven't seen it, but I'm trying to do all the Pentart products right there at your fingertips so you can see what they are and when to use them. But I did cover this one. What about his beard? Ooh, his beard. Yeah, I thought about using some of the white sparkle gel. And I've thought, oh, you're welcome. I've also thought about using some of the snow paste, but I'm just not sure yet what I want to do because I want to see what the gold does here and with the snow and how I'm going to tie it all together. So anyway, I guess that's about it. So thank you for joining me as always. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, and I just hope that you take away something from all of these, or at least maybe a laugh or something. But so anyway, I'll pop on or I'll sign on tomorrow probably, but I'll make sure that I'll put a little post, whether it be on my story and I'll show you the chicken tunnel. I should take you out there live, but I don't know if my service will work out there, so I don't want to try that. But maybe tomorrow I'll have a pre-recorded video and I can just show you on the live. I could do that too. Anyway, I'm rambling now. So anyway, you guys take care. Have